Okay. Alright. So this is the beginning of the Vice tutorial. Vice is incredibly sexy, but you already knew that. As far as a character, Vice is... She's a little well-rounded, but what I will say is she does require meter a little bit more than most characters to be actually scary. But I will get to all of that in a moment. Your goal with Vice, other than walking backwards and looking sexy as hell, other than doing that, is to occupy the airspace or establish close-range mix-ups. When you occupy the airspace with Vice, you are able to get hits off of, you're able to get combos off of any hit. Any air-to-air hit or anti-air will get you a combo if you have a bar, and that is what makes Vice unique. Okay? I will get to that in a moment, but let's go over her basics first. As far as her normals go, she doesn't have a whole lot of range. On the ground, standing CD has some good deceptive range, but you are mostly going to be using two moves. Well, there's mostly two things you're thinking of when you're trying to occupy space with Vice. The first is your jumping normals. Her jumping hard kick and her jumping CD have really, really excellent angles on them, so that she's really, really tough to hit in air-to-air situations. Okay? The second thing is the sleeve. And as I explain the special moves, I will come to that. So the sleeve is her first special move. I still don't know exactly how to pronounce that. The Day? Is that like... Is that a foreign language? I don't know. But here's how this works. It is a hit, okay? If they're blocking, this doesn't work. Okay, it's not an actual throw. But if it does hit them, then it pulls them towards you. Now, one of her other special moves, the next one actually, the Gore Fest, this is a command grab that starts up in one frame. If you land the light kick version of the sleeve, you can combo into the command grab. Notice that the command grab does 7 hits by itself, but if you add the sleeve, it does 8 hits. Okay? So, if you do land one of these sleeves, you can get that command grab for free. If you land the hard kick command grab, you can land her other special move, okay, which is the, let's see, the Mayhem, the quarterback punch, and the splash follow-up afterwards. Okay? See, I've already covered some of her special moves. Now, the EX version of the sleeve is very useful. This is her major EX move and her major use of meter. If you're not familiar with the concept of anywhere juggle, I will explain it. Just like in other 2D fighting games, if you hit someone in the air, they're invincible until they hit the ground again. Right? At least that's true in the majority of situations. However, in KOF13, there is something called the anywhere juggle. Anywhere juggle allows you to combo out of any air state. If they're in the air at all whatsoever, this move will hit them. So it doesn't matter if you hit them into their invincible air reset. This overrides that. Okay? So what your basic strategy is with Vice is to keep them out with sleeves, and when they try to go over it by jumping, you hit them in the face with Hop CD. And when you do hit them with it, you get a combo. And if you do hit them with it, you literally get any combo you want. You could go into a full HD combo and then kill them. Oh, I can't even do it. I dropped it. So Vice has a lot of scary factor. If you are occupying the space with these sleeves, and then they don't want to jump at you, you're occupying the space with these sleeves, unless they counter these sleeves directly, they'll feel like they have to jump. So if you know that they want to jump, hit them in the air. And if you hit them in the air, you get this. Okay, so Vice is super scary in the neutral game because you don't want to deal with the sleeve because she gets a combo and a mix-up. But you also don't want to jump at her. As long as she has one bar, she can maintain this really good, strong neutral position. Okay, now let's see, I went over that. The light and the hard punch version of the command grab are exactly the same. They both start up in one frame, and they both do the same damage. Okay, now if you do the EX command grab also starts up in a frame, but it starts up, so it is invincible just like the first two. However, it has longer range. Let's do this here. Whoops, dropped it. So as you can see, you can combo. Let's see. Oh, I'm doing it wrong. Let's try again. There we go. If you do 3 hits there, you can't combo to her regular command grab. But the EX version has additional range that you can use if you do want to combo into the command grab. Okay? It also does a little bit more damage. Now, if you do land a command grab and you're mid-screen, you can create an ambiguous mix-up. It's really this looks like Vice is has passed by mature, doesn't it? But actually, she hasn't. If you roll at the right spot here, you can set up an ambiguous mix-up where your opponent doesn't know if you're on the left or on the right. And you can certainly do a lot of damage or do any combo you want if you do land a hit on that mix-up. Okay. She also has this move here, the splash. This is a DP and then a punch. What this is a command grab that where she jumps and if she lands on you, she grabs. Notice that mature is set to all guard. Okay. Okay, so this is not a hit grab, this is an actual command grab where she pounces on you from the air. If it does hit, you can drive cancel if you wish to bigger damage. Into her air super, and I'll talk about her air super in a moment. The fierce version of the splash actually goes almost full screen. And because it goes full screen so quickly, you can almost use it to counter full screen projectiles. If you have a good read on when they're going to throw it, you can almost go over fireballs and react to them. It depends on the character. Mature is sort of a different case because their fireball has such a lot of startup on it, but you can try to counter someone's full screen game plan by flinging your body at them this way. But again, they have to be on the ground and it's not a hit, it's an actual grab. So you can definitely make them pay for doing something like that. The EX version of the splash here goes really far. It goes a lot farther, is a lot faster, and is actually invincible on startup. So if they try to do some crouching attacks in your face, you can actually go through it with the EX splash. Okay? And just like the regular one, you can drive cancel this to more damage if you would prefer. Let's see. She also has Mayhem, quarterback punch, the little shoulder charge. This is going to be her bread and butter combo ender. Okay. If you're going from lights, you can do the light version. If you chain to the forward light punch, you can cancel into the hard version. Okay. When the shoulder hits, you can input quarter forward punch. It doesn't matter which punch you input. And she does a little splash after the shoulder tackle, but it will combo. Okay? And just like the splash by itself, you can drive cancel, it's a bigger damage. The EX version of Mayhem, well, excuse me, the difference is here. The light version is a little faster, the fierce version is a little slower, but they're both punishable on block, so you don't really want to use them in strings. The EX version is actually invincible on startup as well. And after the EX version, you can do the splash like normal, but it does launch rather high, so you can do this as well. You can do an EX splash followed by a light one. Excuse me, an EX shoulder followed by a light one. Similarly, you can also go into your juggles. Let's see. But overall, she doesn't have a lot of special moves. The splash is really unsafe to throw out a lot. The shoulder tackle is also unsafe on block. Honestly, you will be spending most of your time throwing out sleeves and trying to counter their air approach. Vice is not a very special move heavy character, I would say. Well, I mean, she only has 4, but 2 are unsafe. This is bad on whiff. Using this too much will get you killed against people that know how to move around a lot. So Vice is very dependent on her normals, which is why her air normals are so good. Now moving on. Let's actually talk about her normal throw and her command moves next. Her normal throw is techable. So if she does land a normal throw, her offense is pretty much over. She doesn't get any safe jumps or anything tricky or anything off of it. If you do land the throw, best you can do is try to follow with a sleeve. To try to like check their wake up. But that's pretty much the best you can do. Her command normal forward light punch is an overhead. The dummy is set to crouch guard. So if you do jumping attacks or overheads, they will not guard it. So forward light punch does overhead. And in this case, you can cancel it to her super. And you can also cancel it to Neomax. And also into HD mode, but those are the only 3 things you can do with it. Okay, there's nothing else you can do with it, so you can't like cancel it into other things. It's a bit risky because all of those things will probably be unsafe. HD activation wouldn't be unsafe, but on block, obviously, you're gonna have to do something with a mix-up there. Okay, another command normals that are overheads. If you chain into them, they are not overheads. This is true amongst all the characters in KOF, okay? Doing this move by itself is an overhead, but if you chain into it, it is not an overhead. It's just something to keep in mind. However, that said, it is still your best string for hit confirms. You can do close C to forward A or close D to forward A. It's the same damage and pretty much the same startup. I like doing close D because I think it looks better. Now next we've got her supers, negative gain. This, just like your Gorefest, this is a 1-frame command grab. Not only is it 1 frame of startup, but it is also, you can't escape it after the flash. So, if the mature player were to hold up right now, she wouldn't be able to avoid the grab. The EX version is exactly the same, just does more damage. Level 1 does 220. Level 2 does 340. The only real difference is the damage and the hits there. Okay, you can combo into it, like say off of a normal. Remember, you can combo into command grabs on KOF. You can also do it, remember, right here. Remember that when you land the light sleeve, you can combo into your 1-frame command grab. Well, the super is also 1 frame. Wow, am I terrible at my half circles? What happened? Whoa. Oh, man. Alright. So that's that. Let's see. She also has overkill. Now, overkill has a bit of a weird motion on it. The best way to think of her overkill motion is it's a chicken wing. If you're familiar with Fei Long, say in Street Fighter 4, or Cammy, and her, they both have moves that start at down back and go to up forward. So you could think of it as a chicken wing motion, but then you hit up and then down. Now, doing this move by itself isn't terribly useful. But what this is an air command grab. Okay. By itself, it's not terribly useful. However, that's how you increase the damage off of her various combos. Okay. So that super is going to be a useful drive cancel for you to use. By itself, it's usable if you hyper hop at someone. If they're in the, remember this is an air command grab, so they have to be in the air. But if they are in the air, let's see. Oh, too far. Then you can land this, but if they're not in the air, it's honestly a pretty ho-hum, like not that great move. But if you use it for this drive cancel here, this will be your most likely use for it. Now, also her Neomax. Her Neomax. Let's set the dummy to crouch guard again. Remember, she's not blocking overheads. Oh, was it mature? Oh, it might have been mature. You know what? Yeah, hers is not an overhead. I thought it was, but... Okay, yeah. It's not an overhead. I thought it was for a second. But you do disappear when this happens. But as soon as the opponent blocks, the block stun is over and it is fully punishable. This is an interesting counter to various things, though. If you're playing at, say, a full screen or a 3/4 screen distance, if you see your opponent do something, the Neomax starts up really, really fast and can be used to punish various things from far away. It's somewhat useful as a reaction punish to various things. It is also fast enough on startup that you could punish something on block, like, say, something like this. Okay, so it is useful as a punish, but oftentimes Vice really wants the bar for something like this. So you want to be careful that you're not spending too much bar with her. Plus, it's easy to combo into the Neomax, so I probably would not be using it by itself a whole lot, but it's a similar story with most Neomaxes in the game. Most Neomaxes can be used by themselves, but they cost so much it's often not worth it. Okay, but that's it. Vice is not a terribly overcomplicated character. There was one thing I forgot to mention. Let me get to this before I get to the combos. When you land the light sleeve, you are only +1, and so the only thing you can do is a 1-frame command grab. However, if you land the hard kick version of the sleeve, you have enough frame advantage that you can combo into the fierce, the hard punch shoulder tackle. You cannot combo into a normal because you recover too slowly. Okay, but for whatever reason, the game allows you to cancel the recovery frames of this into the fierce tackle. That's what allows that combo. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And if you do land an EX sleeve, you can land whatever you want because you have a gigantic amount of frame advantage. So you just start with close hard kick or close hard punch, then go to your combo of choice. Now, as far as the game plan, I more or less went over most of it. You use the sleeves, your jumping normals, and occasionally run up and use your command grab. Those are your 3 main pressure tools. You can use these from mid and far range, and at close range, if your opponent is blocking for too long, you can absolutely get a command grab. Any hit that you land with Vice, it's relatively easy for you to get damage off of it. It's just a matter of you having the reaction time and the practice to get that done. As far as combos go, I already just showed you a couple of cool ideas you can use, but crouching light kick is her main offensive tool because it is cancelable and chainable, so you can just do 3 of these. You could combo to the light tackle and then go to the light splash. Nice and easy. Okay. If you want to combo to the fierce splash, you need to use close hard kick. Excuse me. You need to do a string into the forward light punch, or just off of the close hard kick or hard punch itself. But it will always do more damage to do the string. So you will be able to combo to the hard one by using the string. Let's see, what else? Your basic combos though, those are the 2 main ones. You do this. You can drive cancel if you wish, and this one, you can drive cancel to the super if you wish. That's pretty much it. I don't really use much else. If you land a jumping CD, you can add the EX sleeve to the front, and that's basically it. There's not a whole lot of more complicated things with her. In the corner, she doesn't really gain much combo potential, but what she does gain is a better spacing tool. Her standing CD recovers quickly enough that if they're in the corner, you can do an EX sleeve without canceling. You can definitely cancel her stand CD, just like you can cancel everyone's. However, that's less of a confirm. In the corner, you don't have to cancel it. You can just let it finish, and you can still very easily see if it hits. Mid-screen, this does not work. Okay. There's really not much else to Vice. I would say that is more or less it. I will leave you with a couple of HD combos. I usually do not HD unless I have 2 bars or more, but I'll show you a 2 and 3 and 4 bar variant. Wait, does that doesn't work. That doesn't work. Oh no. Honestly, I will tell you as a beginner with Vice, you can just use that 2 and that 3 bar HD combo, and there's not much else to her, but just for fun, I will show you her kill combo. And just for proof, I will turn on the display. Wait, that's not it. Oh, darn. I forgot. Oh, oh, here it is. Oh, I remember. I remember now. Got it. There we go. In my opinion, Vice is a very good character for intermediate players. She really rewards your air control and your movement in general, but your basic goal with Vice is to try to keep them out of the air by occupying the space, because if they don't stay out of the air, you get those EX sleeves, you get those combos, and if the opponent is blocking too much, then all you need to do is run up and mix them up by using command grabs and crouching attacks. And that's Vice in a nutshell.